Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
All right. Today we have Dave Young here. Dave is the photographer extraordinaire of Niagara Falls. I think could be your title. I mean, you could put that on your business cards.
I take that.
Dave has been taking some tremendous digital photography in the Niagara Falls area for years. And Dave, you got a couple shows coming up. You're involved in the art show at the NAC.
Correct.
And a good part of your day is spent just taking beautiful pictures of our area. So tell us, how'd you get involved in this little hobby here?
Well, first off, Craig, thanks for inviting me. I really appreciate this. I love the hub. I go jump on it every now and then to see what's happening in the city. So cool. It's a great thing to see something like this happening. But it's been probably about 11 years I've been taking photos and stuff of the falls, digitalized. Can never afford the film print, of course. But I just got into it. I'm a victim of 3 layoffs over 12 years, 15 years. Finally got a job after being off for a year and a half, and it was a part-time job. And I just had to find something to help us bridge over and support ourselves. So I got into digital photography. I had some people say that my pictures were nice and pretty and competed with some of the other ones they saw out there. So I started making note cards and prints and things like that. And then someone else came up to me and said that you should be making calendars. So I said, well, okay, let's give it a shot. So 2008 was my first one. And I think I sold probably about 100, 125. But on the average, I think that year I probably took 7,500 pictures.
Now your note cards and things like that, what was your market? Who were you selling that to?
I would be in the front of a Memorial Medical Center on a certain day around the Christmas holidays. Right. I do the other events and things that you see around the area. North Tonawanda, I was in a couple there. But it's also time consuming and expensive because the print is just phenomenal. And if you don't sell everything, you bring it back to the next show, and most of the time it doesn't sell there. But the calendar's been going for 5 years now, and I take on the average of 10,000 a year. So I probably accumulated over 50,000 pictures of the falls, the gorge, from Lake Erie all the way to Lake Ontario.
Oh my gosh!
And so,
and you got to pick 12.
I got to pick 12, and the cover 13.
And the cover.
So yeah, so it's kind of difficult. And I know 2 years ago, my wife and I and daughter sat down, and I said, I need help this year, girls. You gotta give me some chances. Well, that was the worst thing we could have done because we all found 13 that we liked, but all 13 were different than the others. Yeah, so instead of arguing, I said, okay, this is mine. I'll show you when I'm done, and you tell me what you think. So that's about where it comes to now.
Wow. Yeah. Well, at least you're not taking pictures of them. We just went through selecting the Christmas card. You know,
yeah,
my eye, it looks like I'm winking. Oh, my tooth, there's something here.
We're not going to get into that.
No, don't do it. So, so if the rainbow isn't quite right, that's up to you.
That's okay, exactly.
Now, you told me something about a double rainbow. How often does that happen? You go down to the falls often to catch. Obviously, things are different every day.
There was a couple today. Not as the one rainbow wasn't as bright as the other rainbow, so it's very difficult to catch.
And do you know scientifically how this happens?
I wish I can tell you.
No.
You know, you need the water, the mist, and you need the light. And as the sun's coming up, the light's hitting that sun, or the mist is hitting the light, and it just starts to form, and it's just phenomenal.
Wow.
What you can see sometimes. But I did see one excellent double rainbow one time. And it was actually downtown Niagara Falls, the one outdoor concert, Sugar Ray, when he was here 4 or 5 years ago. And there's a double rainbow over the one of the buildings, the Turtle or something like that. It was phenomenal. Wow. But it wasn't even near the falls at that point. But yeah. But yeah, it's a good question. I don't have the scientific knowledge to explain all that. But you
just got to make sure you got your camera there when something like that happens.
Exactly.
Do you find yourself carrying it everywhere? Or?
A lot of times, the times that I don't bring it, I regret not bringing it.
Now you bike a lot. So,
yes.
So you're on your bike. You usually have your camera with you when you're on your bike.
Correct. Yes, and drives my wife crazy because Mary Pat, my wife, will go with me quite a bit. And all of a sudden she's biking and she looks back and I'm not there, and I just happened to stop and saw a bird up in the tree or a hawk or you know, a kestrel hawk, and stopping. I'm taking pictures away, and she's a mile away from me.
She's still talking to you.
Yeah, she's still talking. So we do a lot together. So we learn how to get over that stuff.
That's excellent.
Yes.
That's excellent.
Yes.
So this year's calendar, then you're all ready. You're up. You're printed.
All ready to go. Going to be at the Book Corner. Well, first of all, we're going to be at the NAC at an art show coming up this week. It's more of an art show. It's a holiday happenings. The NAC's going to have some children's entertainment, Santa Claus, music, arts and crafts for the kids. From 6 to 8, which I'm involved with, will be a art gallery show. And so I just left there not more than a half hour ago, and there's over 100 pieces of art that's going to be on display that night. Some of the sponsors are Hyatt's, which is out of Buffalo, an art store. For supplies, Wine on Third sponsoring.
Wine on Third.
So Wine on Third.
There you go.
Norm Pack, Supermarket Liquors, and just a whole bunch of other people are involved with the NAC and doing a great thing. So yeah, right. Got no excuse for getting out and doing something in Niagara Falls. And then a week later,
these are all things you could buy.
Exactly.
All
yes.
right, so there we go. We get into that whole thing of buying local for the holidays. You know, let's not.
That's right.
Be buying too much stuff on the internet and filling your shopping cart there. You can fill it right here at the NAC with some local stuff, and I think it's appreciated more.
Oh, definitely.
When somebody gets something like that as opposed to a toaster. So,
and if you go down there, most likely you see a piece of art that you like. You might not understand it, what it's all about. Most likely you're going to find the artist. They're going to be there walking around, and you can approach them and say, explain this to me. Where did you take this shot, or how did you make this piece? And it's a neat experience. I'm not the largest, the greatest artistic person, but it always amazes me what I find and see down there for what these people create. It's just phenomenal.
Cool.
And then a week later, I'm going to be at the Book Corner on Main Street, Niagara Falls. Jeff Murrow invited me down this year. It's my 5th anniversary of creating the calendar. I've taken over 50,000 photos over that period of time. And this year what we're going to do is anyone buys a calendar from us that day, we will print out one of the 13 photos in the calendar from one of the months and give it to you as a gift for helping us out the past 5 years. And
wow.
And they're great photos, I have to say. I'm sorry, I know I took them, but they came out real nice. So I'm happy with this one. A lot of rainbows in the falls this year, and I think if you come down and see us that day, you really appreciate what's going on. And plus, Jeff's been there for the 3rd generation family. He's the beacon of Niagara.
The beacon of Niagara. The mainstay of Niagara Falls.
And I know Jeff's going to have, I think, some entertainment also, some music up on the upper level. And then, I don't know if anyone's been down there in a while, but they do have a part where I think most books are $1. So if you're looking for a special gift or a book you can't find anywhere else, he's the man to go to.
Definitely, so, yes. Definitely. And I keep looking this way because we do have some pictures displayed that he will have on the calendar. We'll get some photos of that and put it on this segment. I'm looking for the one with the girl holding the wrench, but he says he didn't take any pictures of the girl with the big wrench.
Oh, no, so big wrenches. No.
Got to go to the muffler shop in order to get one of those calendars.
Thank you, Craig. So, get me in trouble. Thank you.
Well, whatever. So, all right. What else? We got that covered. You want to encourage people to just enjoy this area, no matter what time of year, too. I mean, you got to be safe going down the gorge, but.
Yeah, I don't recommend it in the wintertime. Yeah, but well, like this weekend, this coming Saturday, there's a low water hike that the Niagara Interpretive Office sponsors and will guide you through. And you actually can walk from Whirlpool Park area down in the gorge on the trail all the way to the old Whirlpool Bridge.
Wow.
And the reason being is less water going over the falls because of the diversion for the power authority for power. And so the water the rocks that are normally covered with water are now empty.
Wow.
So if you get a nice calm day, no westerly wind coming in, blowing more water over the falls, you can actually walk on those rocks and around.
Wow.
And so if you think about it, you're walking on a piece of earth that's probably over 12,000 years old. So there is a lot to do, and Greg and I have said that we always have people tell us there's nothing to do in Niagara Falls. Geez, I just shake my head and are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I mean, here I just mentioned 2 things in 1 week that you can do, but you got the hikes, you got the gorge trails, you got the falls itself. I've heard people say to me, well, I've been to the falls 20 years ago and it's still water flowing over, isn't it? And And again, I shake my head. Are you kidding me now? When's the last time you've been down there? It was 25 years ago. Where do you live? I live in Lake South. So you just, you know, it's just beauty at its best. You can't beat this area. I was just there this morning on my bike, and bus loads of tourists from around the world were there. None of them can speak English. And here they are. They got just you know, look of awe on their face, taking the pictures like it's no tomorrow. Sure. And in being a local, you know, I like to brag about this area, so I'll stop and ask, do you want your picture taken with as a family? And they're just big smiles on their faces when you ask them that. And then you find out the family I took a picture from today was from Ecuador. And they introduced their 2 little boys to me, and they took my helmet off and put it on the one little boy. I had their picture taken with the 2 little kids, so you know, it's a good experience. You know, I think sometimes we were so afraid of, you know, I don't know, being human that we forget. And then you put yourself out there, and it's a good feeling.
Cool.
It really is.
Cool.
Yes. Yes.
Well, we need more people like you. Until we get them, you can at least buy his calendar.
Dad, come down and say hello. My number's there, and you know, my email too. You know, so any questions, just let me know. And I do convert old videos to DVD also, and slideshows to DVD. If you have old slides at home, which a lot of people still do, I can help you with that too. So
he's the guy. He took some of my video VHS tapes and turned them into a DVD, which in another 10 years we'll be giving the DVDs and saying, can you put these on the microchip that's embedded in my arm? Right?
That's right.
That'll be it. And your whole life will be, but I don't know, it's hard to keep up, but with guys like Dave, it makes it easier.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, buddy. Thanks for being at